Hi, this is Micornus, Phokane, the leader and the founder of Church Governance Solutions. We continue today. We deal with part 3 of this topic that speaks about character traits of a church leader. Character traits of a church leader. And today I want to start by saying a church leader should be able to teach. A church leader must have ability to teach. Because remember that as a leader, you are the leader of the mass of the people. And the church has got a manual called the Bible that teaches the laws and the principles of God. Now, it is very important that a church leader who would have learned the principles of God, who would have learned the word of God and master it to a level that they are able to teach others this. And you cannot teach until you are able to live according to the very same word, according to the very same principles of God that are in the very same word, which is the manual of God. This is very important that we emphasize, that a church leader, therefore, should be able to learn the principles and the word of God, to be able to teach it even unto others. But as I've mentioned that, you cannot teach something that doesn't resonate with you. You cannot teach something that doesn't go well with your lifestyle. You cannot teach something that doesn't go along with who you are. So therefore, you should actually be able to internalize the word, to internalize these principles, which is the biblical principles, and be able to live according to them. And when you do so, teach others this word. Now, we must, as church leaders, come to a level where we are able to grow and mature spiritually to a level that we can teach people principles of the Spirit. And this is very important, that we understand, therefore, the Bible as the Word of God, inspired by the Spirit of God to be written the way it is, so that it can bring transformation into our lives. We are going to be revived and transformed. We are going to change because of the Word of God. But I want to emphasize that a church leader, therefore, should be at a level where they can teach others. Otherwise, you cannot be a church leader as long as you are still not matured enough to can be able to teach others. This is very, very important. And it's a character trait, because remember that in any church, people are looking up to you. People are actually looking up to who you are and what you do. People are actually looking up to you to see you as an example of the church, as a leader that knows everything. Because when the people are in your church, when they look at you, they see somebody who is articulate and a master of what they do. They believe that you know the principles of God. They believe that you know the word of God. So therefore, it is very important, therefore, that you reach a level as a church leader. If you are not matured enough, please read the word, understand the word, attend the teachings as well. Be able also to learn from other people's writings, which are the books that other people have written. But I want to also emphasize that it is very important that every church leader considers going to a Bible college to go and study the word, to go and understand the principles of God, because it's very important. It is not that you are actually studying to become a pastor, but any type of a church leader, whether it is an elder or a departmental leader in the church as well, it is useful actually to go for Bible teachings and Bible college, whereby you are taught the word and you mature to the knowledge of the word and you are able to teach others. And this is very key, that you learn to teach other people as a leader. Because if you are not able to teach others, therefore, you are not able actually to command respect and honor. You are not able to command authority as well in that particular church as a leader. It is very important that you learn and make sure that you are ahead of the rest with your knowledge. Because imagine a teacher that is not better than the student. Imagine a teacher that's not learned more than their students, and that is abomination. Because at the end of the day, you need to know a little bit more than your own people that you are leading. So therefore, it is very important. Therefore, I want to urge leaders of the churches that please, it is not a taboo to go to a Bible college. It is not something that you do because you want to be a pastor, but as long as you're a church leader, whether it's in a department or, as I said earlier, maybe you're just a church elder, it is very important that you study to show yourself approved so that you can be able to teach others as well. So ability to teach, very, very key and very important. The other thing that is very key as a church leader is you must not be given to wine. We have said this earlier that you need to be sober in mind, because giving yourself to wine will actually alter the way you see things. It will actually deter your vision and your foresight. Therefore, it is very, very key that we emphasize the fact that you must not be given to wine as a church leader. You must not be an alcoholic as a church leader. You must never be a drunkard as a church leader, because that will actually alter your concentration level. It will alter your sobriety, as I've said earlier. And when it does so, you are not having what we call sober judgment. And when you don't have a sober judgment, therefore, you are not able to judge things correctly. You're not able to perceive things correctly. You're not able to do things correctly, because if you cannot judge things properly, therefore you cannot do things then properly. So it is very important that the church leader don't give themselves to wine, and they don't give themselves to alcohol. Because as I said also, that sometimes when you drink alcohol, you become of less focused, or you become less focused. You become with a lower concentration as well. And you start to have a problem actually of judging matters correctly. As we said, that the proper judgment of a church leader should be judging according to the word of God. You should be led by the Spirit of God as well. But if you're not sober enough, you are not able actually to be guided by the Spirit of the Lord, and therefore also your judgment cannot be right in the things of the Spirit and even the things of the physical in the church that you're leading. You may not be able to actually help people in the church because you're not sober enough. You may not be able to counsel your own members in the church. You may not be able to counsel your very same congregation. And because they are coming with baggages and issues that they are carrying upon their shoulders. They're having burdens that they're carrying upon their shoulders, and they are actually seeing you as a last resort of somebody who will actually bring help to them. Now, we cannot only say we will pray for you, but there are those issues that need to be addressed. There are those issues that need proper counsel. And when you got a proper counsel, you are able to help people sometimes even before you can speak about prayer. So this is very key, therefore, that we emphasize the fact that as a church leader, don't give yourself out to wine, because you are actually altering your sobriety. You may not be able to be sober enough to show a right judgment, to counsel people and help them. It is very key that we emphasize that. But also I want to emphasize the fact that when you are a church leader, never be violent. You don't need to be violent. And that is a character trait of a leader. A leader should not be violent. This is very important. And that is why that starts in your own home. Don't be violent with your own wife. Don't be violent with your own husband. Don't be violent with your own children as well. Because it starts at home. Charity begins at home. So this is very important. Now, when you find a church leader who is full of temper, and who is actually full of anger, who is very violent as well, that doesn't augur well for a church leader. And that cannot be a proper character trait of a church leader, because a character trait of a church leader should be actually cool and calm and be gentle unto the people and not be violent at all. We are saying this because it's very important. Because as a church leader, remember, church leaders are dealing with people. You are actually dealing with vulnerable people, not only people, but vulnerable people that are actually at the mercy of the people. We have seen in the church of today that has become abusive to their own people. Now, when you are violent, you're going to be violent against your own members. You're going to find yourself violent against your own people. Remember, as we have said in the previous lessons, that when you deal with people, There are times when people will be actually out of the way. There are some people that are naughty by nature. There are people that will do wrong things against you. There are people that may not respect you as well, people that may undermine you. But in the process of it all, if you are violent, you're going to be violent, or violence is going to display itself upon people. And you're going to find yourself having done things that you may actually be demanded to apologize later. You will do things that you will regret later. And you don't want to do that as a leader, whereby you are going to do things that you're not going to be happy with yourself. The things that will embarrass you when they come up, because these are the things that you try to actually make yourself control temper and be able not to be violent as well. And I want to emphasize that as a church leader. So please make sure that you're not violent. And as I said, mostly it is something that you need to guard at home. You need to guard it against your own children, your wife, and so on. And because this may spill out and show itself up in the church as well. Now, violence is something that a church leader cannot be associated with. We have seen people that are very violent. We have seen people that are beating people up. We have seen people that are actually at a point where they're harassing people as well because of the violence that they have in them. So therefore, I want to emphasize that as a church leader, please, it's a character trait not to be violent at all. It's a character trait of a church leader not to be violent at all. And this is very key that we emphasize that. Now, I want to check out here, but before I check out, I want you to be able to see our Facebook pages, Micornus Phokane, and I want you just to click a like there, and Facebook page, Church Governance Solutions. Please like that page as well. And also we have got a YouTube channel that we have loaded most of our videos. And I would love you to subscribe to that YouTube channel, Micornus Phokane. And also on that, make sure that after subscribing, you click notification button and you are being notified of every video that we post in this platform. And you will learn out of our teachings and you will be okay. I want to check out here your host, Micornus Phokane. Thank you very much for listening to us and being part of this. Join us as we deal with another part of this session tomorrow. May the good Lord bless you, and cheers for now.